Greetings and welcome everybody to the Jane Live on a Thursday, where we discuss breaking edge, leading edge, practical experiences, spontaneous transformations within people, removal of dis-ease, disorder in the body. And today we're going to be looking at how to think clearly and live productively in all areas of our lives, 365 days a year. So welcome everybody to our evening presentation. And if you've got any questions, put them in the chat, please. And always remember to like and subscribe. And you will see hundreds of my educational videos on the Jane Mackenzie YouTube. And I've been sharing with you snippets of my my doctorate, a multidimensional holistic quantum well-being framework. So today I'm going to be looking at sharing with you my HIELO integrative framework and showing you how it all fits together to create a well-being who thinks clearly, lives productively in all areas of their lives. So who doesn't want that? And I think I've been the guinea pig. I've walked the talk, and I'm always learning. I'm always in reset. And I think that's what makes life so interesting, so joyful, so challenging, so rewarding and fulfilling. And so, well, without further ado, let's go straight into the HIELO framework, which is an acronym for Holistic Integrated Epigenetic Life Orientation System. Holistic Integrative Epigenetic Life Orientation System, because we're not just ourselves, we're not just sitting here. We have molecules, we have DNA, we have blood from our ancestors and our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents. And those of you who've been following me, you see I'm posting lots about this these days because it's so part of us. I'm not actually certain how anyone can be lonely with this kaleidoscope of people and memories and experiences within us. So when people sit down and they come to me for a HIELO experience, a holistic integrated epigenetic life orientation framework, they're often surprised to think about even their parents who are late or their grandparents who are late. And I'm saying, but they're with you. You have the DNA. There's a connection. And at some stage, we were all connected. We were all one, we were unified. Even Einstein refers to this. So we are all connected in the quantum field by particles and waves. And what one thinks, another one feels, and vice versa. That also we can't get away from. So if the world's at war, we're all affected. If we're at war, everyone else is affected too. So I think let's not take things for granted. And I posted also yesterday something wonderful on maturity and seeing the future consequences of current present day activities. And I think that's where we keep planting our seeds for our future. So a little bit more on that later. So we're looking at this HIELO system within the multidimensional holistic quantum well-being framework, which is my doctorate, and it is a journey of self-discovery. It's not a destination. Some people get a little bit confused and, okay, Jane, so my liver's fixed now, so I'm done. Okay, that's good. How long shall I carry on taking the probiotic for? Okay, I'm done. Okay, I've cleansed now, I'm done. It doesn't quite work like that because the next challenge comes up, and then the next one, and then the next one. And that is how we work on our own self-discovery, leading to self-transformation. And whilst we're doing that, we are experiencing different levels of peace, happiness, joy, freedom, and ultimately unconditional love, which the quantum physicists, the contemporary ones of modern day, refer to in the quantum consciousness universal field as the 0 point. And within my doctorate and within my frameworks, we've unified ancient Eastern philosophies of harmony and happiness and yin and yang binary and non-duality. And as measured by quantum physics as well, up to a point. Quantum physics cannot measure experiential emotional experiences. That it cannot actually measure self-transformation, put it that way. It can measure quite far up, but it can't actually measure the experience. The experience is something we feel. We see it in a person's change of face, demeanor, their actions. So everything is geared towards various quantum collapses, if I can put it that way. As we converge and the quantum collapse and we diverge and we go through our trials and tribulations on our path to self-transformation through self-discovery. Okay. And achieving higher and higher levels of unconditional love and knowledge about ourselves and everything. So it's very important that we unify body, mind, emotions, and spirit. And in my HIELO process, we're talking about a reset, a restore, a rejuvenate, and a rejoice step-by-step process. Moving towards and including, and most importantly, the subconscious and the superconscious. I'll talk a little bit later about the present day consciousness versus subconscious and superconscious, because we're working in the universal field, which is the field of subconscious and superconsciousness. And, we're wanting to harness new wisdom, new inner wisdom, as we move in binary unity towards non-locality health, well-being. So with that as an introduction, I've got some pointers here which I think you might enjoy. And the first one is talking about nourishment. And we'll talk about nourishment of the physical body, nourishment of the mind, the emotions, and the spirit, which anyway includes the soul. So nourishment generally, we're talking about, if we look at the most powerful physical nourishment, would be the sun, the photons. They are the most excited. They have the fastest electron spin. And they're actually proton spin, sorry. And they will feed us. They know, our body knows exactly which visible and invisible, far and near infrared wavelengths to absorb, to heal the liver, to heal the gut, to heal the brain, to kill the parasites, etc. That's why the sun is vital. And if you have a look at plants, a plant inside versus a plant outside, provided that it's an outside plant, will thrive and flourish in the sun, getting rainwater on it, which is far more powerful, far more energetic, full of life force than chlorinated water out of the tap, for example. If you look at even animal studies, rats, same age, same cage size, same food, those outside, running outside, are leaner, have better muscle mass, better strength, better mood, better emotion compared to the one inside. So we don't really have to go into sunshine now, but do want to labor that point, because in modern day times, it's not often that we do step outside. It's not often that we then even get the advantage of the earth, which is feeding us nourishment to the earth energy, the earth electrons, very, very fast spin, very tightly bound to the central core of the proton and the neutron, and that charges us within 30 minutes. We are charged. It's like plugging your cell phone in. Critical, it alkalinizes us, removes EMF toxins and pain and inflammation. And studies have showed that, infrared cameras have showed that, if you're interested. Breathing is absolutely critical, of course. And to breathe properly, when we're stressed, we often just breathe in the top part of the lung, very small, shallow breaths, as opposed to breathing, from the top right down to below the rib cage, front and back. That's the extent of our lungs, and we need to fill that up and let that out. And often when we're doing our pop-up quantum assessments, most people are not breathing deeply, especially the out breath, which means you're not letting the waste out, and the carbon dioxide gets reabsorbed into the blood, making it acidic and the rest of the body, and you holding toxins. So again, not too much on air and breathing. There's lots and lots on my other videos on my YouTube, the Jane Mackenzie YouTube. And then also obviously hydration, and the best form of water we could get ever is spring water. The pH is 7 and it's structured. The next best you would use something like a Spiralex water activator, which I have. And that is a cylinder, and it's got volcanic rock dust, rock quartz, zeolite. It's got magnets, it's got coils. So it absolutely removes the memory from the water and restructures it, and it behaves exactly like spring water. And what do I mean by that? There's a density also. If you put oil into it, the oil disperses the same way as spring water. Alkaline water and the other waters, tap water, don't do that. So that, I would say, is the next best water. And they've done studies where they've shown on another machine the chakras align when you drink this Spiralex water like a spring water. So that's critical. And many people don't drink two liters or more a day. Other people who are, the body's not absorbing it. It's not getting to the kidneys or the cells. So they're actually in a dehydrated state. So a lot of people are in a hypoxic state from not breathing properly, a dehydrated state, and the battery's flat. Now, how can any battery move forward with that state? So very, very important. And then we move on to other things that are important before we move on to actual food. Things that are critical for the body and the mind and the soul and emotion would be something like meditation. And that's important to connect with your inner self, your inner position, your inner thoughts, your inner feelings, and remain in a state of central stability, your central point, your own 0 point, if you like. While the tornado is whizzing around you, you are in the central space. Operating from a central space allows you to breathe properly and to be flexible in terms of unexpected, even unwanted trials and tribulations that might not even belong to you. You can quickly discern and navigate yourself through the trial or through the incident that doesn't even belong to you, and regain your central position as well. So meditation is very good. And along with meditation is alternative nostril breathing or breathing exercises, because what they do is they connect and balance the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. In our modern day cities and life, we are very extreme in terms of the sympathetic nervous system. And that means we don't give the parasympathetic nervous system a chance to catch up and to operate, which is responsible for all our unconditional bodily functions: digestion, circulation, elimination, immunity, repair, restoration. So if we constantly, the line is chasing us 24/7, the adrenals will completely fatigue, and you'll have chronic fatigue, and your digestion will be upset, and your absorption will be upset, your elimination will be upset. That then affects the brain and your thoughts and your memory. So very important to, I think, explore meditation, quietness, and alternative nostril breathing. It is basically a meditation. It quietens everything down and balances the nervous system. So very important for that, and balances the mind and the body's actions, so that your day starts like this: A, B, C, D, E, F. And if you do that alternative nostril breathing, you'll find that. And at the same time, you reaching capacity with regards to the oxygen requirements. And you can Google that. So slowing down is important at various times in the day. Positive thinking is very important because optimistic thoughts are going to attract optimistic results, and vice versa. And it's the usual, is the glass half full or half empty. So we rather want better solutions. We want to be optimistic. And as I said earlier, be aware of the actions now and the future results, the resulting actions as a result of what we're doing now. And that's very, very mature way of looking at things and seeing. The further we can see into the future, the more mature we are, the more we will be able to account and for our current day actions. And linked with this positive thought is self-love and self-care. Many people beat themselves up, and we all fall into that trap. Always say, once you can walk on water, you absolve from these earthly things. And that's part of the resistance and part of our challenge and our achievement of self-discovery and self-transformation. So boundaries are very acceptable. You don't want to be spending your time with people that are draining your electrons, draining your energy. You want to be with people who are contributing to your well-being, and that is being kind to yourself. So boundaries are important. And, a small change today we should be really grateful for, because it's going to have massive shifts into the future. Rather than, looking at catching the big fish today, the small fish is okay too, because it will all expand. And gratitude is, as I said, most important. So we want to be living, fulfilled lives, happy lives, healthy lives that are contributing to our well-being. And we need to look holistically for that, some more of that in the moment, and building up our capacity to navigate the future. And that still central point: balanced nervous system, balanced thoughts, and the term shooting from the hip, I think that's very reactive as well. We want to not react, walk in non-judgmental awareness, accepting what is. We will never transform other people. It's not our role. It's not their role to transform us either. They can't. They're not in our shoes. So many people come in, oh, my husband this and my husband that, or my wife this and my wife that. That's just, we need to reframe that kind of talk, because your partner has arrived to teach you something. Your children have, your work colleagues have, people in the queue in the store that you bump into have all come to teach you. Your grandparents, your mother-in-law, everybody that pitches has come to teach you. We need to honor them for that. Honor their soul, honor their higher spirit, their light, if you like, and gain what it is that they've almost in self-sacrifice teaching us. And that's incredibly important and very mature way of looking at everything, and crystallizing out the main gift, the main thread of what they've come to teach us. Once you've got that, it's over. There's no more emotion. Only contentment, only fulfillment, only happiness. That is the quantum collapse, when you understand why it happened and what your gift is. That is self-discovery, and self-transformation is immediate. And you expand into a higher consciousness. And it's too beautiful when we do this work in the center. So it's all about building our resistance, our resilience to navigate the future. And regarding actual consumption of food, remember, this is the grossest form of getting energy into our body. So we need to choose wisely and understand whatever we crosses our mouth is going to have an effect positively or negatively. And ask yourself, is this going to heal me? Is it going to give me energy or not? And then you know. And that's a good rule of thumb. And we do need what I've talked about, the minerals, and there's lots of YouTubes on this, on my channel. We need the oils, we need the proteins, we need the vitamins, we need also the energy, the long chain sugars, to drive the brain. And we can go into that. The framework goes into nourishment. But for the sake of time, let's just assume we've watched all those videos and we're up to scratch on that. There's certain things about the way food is eaten and consumed. Are we conscious? Are we watching TV? Are we driving at the same time as eating? Are we eating and we're not even sure what we ate? We didn't taste it. Because actual digestion starts with the visual, looking at the food, the preparing of the food, not while the TV is going, etc. The love actually that you're putting into the food, the sitting down, the lighting the candle, the giving the thanks, that is conducive to proper eating, proper absorption. And most of the diseases today, like calcification, acidity, reflux, have got to do with us not having any consciousness when we eat. So we're putting in a very foreign substance into our body that has to be torn apart, reconstructed so it can get absorbed. And if we eat and we get up and we move and we get in the car, the transport, we're destroying all of that. So we do need to call on the consciousness forces, if you like, to come in and assist the body with this load, this burden, to break the food apart and let it reunite in a form that we can absorb it. For example, the amino acid has to be extracted out of the protein. We don't absorb protein, and we have to have probiotics to do that, all in the other videos. So very important that the way the food's grown, obviously organic is the best, but if you've grown your own food, remember you've held the seed. The seed has then picked up your vibration. It knows what your inadequacies are. It will grow as medicine for you. You've put it in the ground. You have then cultivated it. You've then harvested it. It's on your table, and it's a cycle. You've put the tops back into the soil or the peels back into the soil, and there's this harmony between yourself and the soil and the plants and the animals and the sunlight and the cosmos. Very important, those four kingdoms, including the cosmos. So growing food is important. The preparation of food is important, as we've said, and eating with consciousness. So many people suffer with reflux, but the body's speaking to you. Please don't do that. I don't want fried food anymore. I don't want wheat anymore. I don't want dairy anymore. And we daily drink it down. Or we go and get a medicine that stops the reflux and allows that food into us. We've just completely ignored the body. So we will get sick and more sick and more sick. And then it will be ulcers, and then it will be anything, dysbiosis, irritable bowel syndrome, celiacs, and degeneration down the line, and operations and stuff. So we do need to be very, very aware of the food that energizes us, brings in life force, which would be plant-based, the highest life force food, followed by animal, and those foods that cause an energy slump. And that would be things like sugar, white rice, white bread, white potatoes, corn, energy slump. So be aware of all of that, because this is how we're going to think clearly, live productively in all areas of our lives, 365 days a year. We're going to try our best. And also then having a look also now, the structuring of the mind and how we operate on a day-to-day basis. Very important to have routines and structures, especially getting up in the morning, the time you get up. Do you do your yoga? Do you do your alternative nostril breathing? Do you walk? Did you take your almost gold? Did you take your replenish electrolytes? Did you take the microbiome reset? Did you get into the sun? Did you put your feet on the ground? Are you now ready to consume some food and break the fast in consciousness? Prioritizing your task. Be careful of the time wasted. Be careful of the people that are energy stealers, be on top of your game. And again, if you started your day properly, it will be much easier to set all of that in motion. And other things that are problems is eating late. We should not eat after the sunset. And my chickens will tell you they go and roost every day, sun, wind, rain, or snow, at probably round about